Tonight on News 30, human remains found in Shawnee, OSBI and the DA investigate. Also, this past week, the University of Oklahoma has been addressing racism tied to a fraternity on campus. And Nicole Smith visits with a local college student who is in the process of creating his own video game. Good evening, I'm Jake Nelson. Several agencies are investigating human remains found in Shawnee this week. Nicole Smith has more.
OSBI and other agencies are investigating human remains that were found in Shawnee this week. OSBI and other agencies were out investigating human remains found in Shawnee this week. 2.5 years ago, mother of two Samantha Weaver went missing. Now human remains potentially linked to her case have been found. OSBI, partnered with DA for Pottawatomie County Richard Smotherman, has confirmed there are human remains located 3 feet in the ground. The medical examiners assisted in the dig with the help of forensic anthropologists and forensic archaeologists.
On Monday, we started searching the 8 acres that you see using a ground-penetrating radar that the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation used. It's new technology. It's the first time it's ever been used. Based upon that, the ground-penetrating radar showed what's called an anomaly. We were able to probe that area, found a disturbance in the soil, and Tuesday about 11 o'clock we began digging. We can confirm that there are human remains in a grave about 3 feet deep, and we are working to extract that body right now.
Police are continuing to investigate the remains, which may take a few days to a month to identify. Reporting from the downtown Shawnee Police Department, I'm Nicole Smith, News 30.
The issue of same-sex marriage is a constant controversy as states decide how they will address the subject. Oklahoma, though, may be taking it a step further. The Oklahoma House of Representatives passed a bill this week that would abolish government-issued Oklahoma marriage license to be replaced by certificates issued by a clergy or other official. The bill's author, Representative Todd Russ, says that the legislation is to take marriage out of state hands and into the hands of the clergy. On the other hand, House Minority Leader Scott Inman even described the bill as potentially opening up Pandora's box. The fear is that the bill would prohibit the state's ability to stop bigamy or polygamy, and that all couples who marry in Oklahoma will be denied hundreds of federal legal rights and protections because of the federal government, and other states will not be required to observe the law.
I think you have to send the strongest possible message, so you impact not only the entire culture on this campus, but on campuses across the country, and indeed for the rest of us. All of us across America have to start having zero tolerance. We can't sit still when we hear racist jokes or remarks being made, even in social settings.
The University of Oklahoma was under the spotlight this week, but not for a big sports win or high academic honors. The school had to address an issue of racism involving their fraternity's Sigma Alpha Epsilon. A video surfaced of members of the fraternity singing a racially charged chant. University of Oklahoma President David Boren addressed the issue Monday, saying that the actions of the fraternity should not be associated with the University of Oklahoma. 2 students were expelled, and the rest of the frat was given until Tuesday to leave the house and find other housing arrangements on their own. Walking to remember our past. Marchers began the long trek from Montgomery, Alabama, the morning of March 7th to Selma, retracing steps taken 50 years ago. The marchers back then met armed police on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, facing danger in a push to obtain equal voting right for all Americans. The marchers today do not face the same struggles of that day, but they're joined together to remember how a terrible past brought America into a brighter future. President Obama and over 100 lawmakers joined to commemorate the day. There will be another march on March 22nd. Terror struck Ferguson again overnight with the shooting of 2 police officers early Thursday morning. Officers were on patrol for demonstration following the announcement that Police Chief Thomas Jackson was resigning. One officer was struck in the face and the other in the shoulder, but both have been released from the hospital since. There are witnesses saying that they saw where the shots came from, but no arrests have been made. Oklahoma has become the first state to legalize nitrogen gas execution. Previously, prisons use a form of cyanide injection, which is known to malfunction and cause pain. Nitrogen gas has been proven to be a painless method with a higher success rate and less technical complication. The Oklahoma House passed the nitrogen gas bill on March 3rd with a vote of 85 to 10. The bill was drafted after a botched execution by lethal injection last spring led to national debate on humane execution. Lethal injection will remain the preferred method of execution in Oklahoma for now, but nitrogen gas will take the place of firing squad and the electric chair. All executions in the state of Oklahoma are being put on hold until the U.S. Supreme Court completes an official review of the state's lethal injection policy.
One of the things that's been uppermost on my mind is how do we make sure that every young person in this country who is willing to put in the effort can afford to go to college. And as part of that overall process, we're going to be talking today about a student bill of rights. This is part of it.
The Student Aid Bill of Rights was signed by President Obama this week in Washington. The bill is an executive order to promote investing in a college education. To do this, the order is pushing the Department of Education and other federal agencies to find ways to help with loan repayment through different repayment options. There will also be a focus on improving lender customer service. Lights are coming back to the airport track this Shawnee. Burger King stops offering soft drinks on their children's menu, and Apple has a huge release for the Apple Watch next. Bullying isn't just an issue at school and alone, but the issue becomes more troublesome when it is coming from over social media, where the torture is day and night out there for everyone to see. Reagan McGowan has more.
Almost every day, the average person sees bullying on their social media pages.
However, most people typically ignore it. I asked local students about cyberbullying in their own lives.
Like, especially on Twitter, subtweeting is like such a big thing, and even though they don't say your name, it's very hurtful still.
Think about the things that you post in a way that if this was posted about me, how would that make me feel?
To help stop cyberbullying, think before you post and don't forget to report it to the site. I'm Reagan McGowan reporting for News 30.
Good news for everyone planning on using the extra hours of sunlight to take a walk on the Shawnee Airport Trail. The Shawnee City Commission approved a $207,000 proposal by OG&E to provide lighting around the trail. Grant money will help the cost as well as the Avitas Foundation. The city will only have to provide $60,000 in total. Last year, OU students broke Big 12 fundraising records with their annual Soonerthon. Soonerthon is a 12-hour dance marathon that allows students to raise money for the Children's Miracle Hospital Network in Oklahoma City. Soonerthon 2015 was OU's most successful by far, raising over $561,000, almost doubling the amount raised last year. Soonerthon 2015 ranked as the best dance marathon fundraiser in the Big 12 and placed in the top 10 in the nation. The Children's Miracle Network will use the donated money to hire pediatricians and specialists to help sick children in the Oklahoma area. Norman is hosting its 39th annual Medieval Fair. If you're looking for something fun to do with the family, there will be crafts, food, educational exhibits, games, and much more. It will be held March 27th through the 29th at Rivas Park in Norman and will be from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. For more information, go to medievalfair.org. It takes a lot to build a video game in general, but thinking about doing it in college? Nicole Smith visits with an OBU student about his gaming project.
As you may have noticed, I'm not very good at video games. Or at least I don't seem to play them much. For one student at OBU, Gage Copeland, video games are more than a pastime. When he's not hanging out with his friends or going to class, Gage is working on making his own video game. Gage is a freshman at OBU studying digital media arts.
Like, ever since I started back in, playing games back when I was younger, I always wanted to kind of make my own, in a sense, but didn't really have the software or experience or anything. So once I came to college, I was like, all right, I'll just figure out how to make one on my own. And me and my friend both decided that we'll try. He helps every so often with art design, and I'm just constantly just trying to design stuff on the PC whenever I have the chance.
As of right now, Gage has not created any designs, but he has established an idea of what the game will be like in comparison to games like this one.
With the software we have, it's simpler to do a like fantasy kind of medieval time period type game. So nothing too fancy, just a role-playing game that has been done multiple times.
While this may sound like something to do just for fun, to Gage, it is more than just that. It is a first step in following a dream.
I want to be a game designer, or at least an animator for games and stuff, at least something in the industry. It's tough, but can't see me doing anything else with my life.
While Gage
Kids who have a favorite soft drink may be disappointed when mom and dad take them to get their fast food. Burger King joins the fast food chain for not including fountain drinks on their kids' menus. Burger King follows the move of McDonald's and Wendy's after pressure for change from the Consumer Advocacy Group Center for Science and Public Interest. The fast food chains are striving to create a better quality of food for their customers. The world's richest man, Bill Gates, leads the Forbes list for billionaires with a net worth of $79.2 billion. 6 Oklahomans joined him on that list. Harold Hamm, leader of Oklahoma City-based Continental Resources, has a net worth of $12.2 billion. He fell from number 68 last year to number 96 this year. George Kaiser, head of Kaiser Francis Oil Company, ended up at number 142 on the list with a net worth of $9 billion. Other Oklahomans on the list include David Green, founder of Hobby Lobby, Tom and Judy Love, founder of Love's Travel Stops, and philanthropist Lynn Schutzman. As many of you know, there is a massive culture phenomenon, and it is known as Apple. You have iPods, iPhones, iHomes, iPads, MacBooks. What else does Apple have up their sleeve? The technology is endless. Apple's newest creation is the Apple Watch. On March 9th, 2015, Apple announced that its Apple Watch, its most personal device yet, will be available on Friday, April 24th, to customers in Australia, Canada, China, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Japan, the UK, and the US. You're thinking fancy? Well, you thought right. The watch can be customized for personal inspection of the individual and is an accurate timepiece. According to a press release released on March 9th, the new Apple Watch is said to be incredibly accurate and customizable, intimate, and immediate, with groundbreaking health and fitness kicks. The weather is warming up as we approach spring. Tiami Cortez will have your weather update next. Today was definitely nice and sunny out there. Tiami, how's the weather going to look for this weekend?
Well, Jake, we have seen a warming trend this week, and it should stick around for a while. Right now, it's 68 degrees with some cloud cover and light winds. We topped out at 71 today, which is 15 degrees above normal for this time of year. Across the state, we've seen highs in the upper 60s and low 70s. Ardmore only reached about 68 degrees, while Oklahoma City got up to 73 degrees and Woodward got up to 74. Overnight tonight, we'll see temperatures in the upper 40s and low 50s. Shawnee should be around 52 degrees. 50 degrees in Seminole and Holdenville. Pollen count this week will only be high in the tree category. Grass and weed are showing no activity while the mode reading is low. We've seen almost a 30-degree increase over the past week. This time last week, our high was only 44 degrees. Then Saturday, we got all the way up to 71 degrees. Tomorrow morning, we'll start out at 52 degrees with some cloud cover. Showers will start to develop during the mid-morning hours, sticking around for the majority of the day. Saturday will be a bit warmer with a high of 70 degrees and even warmer on Sunday with a high of 73 degrees and plenty of sun. Monday will reach up to 77 degrees, then on Tuesday we'll see some more cloud cover, making the temperatures drop to about 76 degrees. Wednesday we'll see a chance of rain, but it should end overnight Wednesday, leading to a warming trend for the second half of the week. That's all for this week's weather. Now here's Reagan McGower with Arts Entertainment.
Reading Girls tells the historical story of Grace Fryer, a young tile painter who began to fall ill in the fight for her day in court. The play gives an in-depth look at America in the 1920s and our obsession with wealth and science. Reading the Girls premieres March 27th at 7:30 in Sarkey's Black Box Theater, with other showings at 2:30 on March 28th and 29th, and on 7:30 on March 28th.
OBU claims several national titles over the weekend. Laura Hickman with sports next. Russell Westbrook continues to dominate on the basketball court. Laura, tell us more about it.
The OKC Thunder pulled off an incredible win on Sunday night as they topped the Toronto Raptors 108-104 in the Chesapeake Arena. Russell Westbrook was once again the highest scorer with 30 points. He added 17 rebounds, 11 assists, and finished with his 5th triple-double in 6 games. Russell Westbrook now has more triple-doubles in this season alone than Durant has for his entire career. This has been an incredible week for Bison Athletics. This weekend, OBU brought home 3 national championships from the women's indoor track and field team and the men's and women's swimming teams. This is the 4th straight national championship for the men's team and the 3rd straight for the women's track and field team. In other news, the baseball teams entered this week ranked in the #1 spot in the 2015 NAIA Coaches Top 25 poll. They received 20 of the 21 first-place votes. They will face the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma tonight on Bison Hill. That's all for sports this week. Jake, back to you.
If you own a camera extension pole, better known as a selfie stick, don't try to use it at the London's Natural Gallery Museum. They join other museums like the New York Museum of Modern Art, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Washington, D.C.'s National Gallery. The spokeswoman for the London Museum says it's a precautionary measure. Along with the other prestigious museums, they want to avoid any artwork being damaged from the selfie stick. News 30 will be off for 2 weeks, so be sure to come back on April 2nd at 6:30 for another newscast. Until then, keep an eye out for any content on our YouTube and Twitter at Shawnee News 30. Also, if you have any story ideas, you can send them to us at news30@okbu.edu. Have a great weekend.